Yeah. Online students, could you please confirm? Online students, can you hear me? Yeah, just a minute, guys. Yeah, everyone, could you please reconfirm me? Now it is clear. Okay, done. Okay, so in the last class, we are discussing about the agentic AI. And in the agentic AI, we have discussed about the how to install this one and how to use Cursor. And I asked you to install the nodes also related to that. And okay, done. So now in the previous class, we have discussed first how to install the Cloudy desktop, and we have discussed the points. I'm just writing all the points, guys. From there, we'll continue the today's one. So first, I have discussed with you the installation of Cloudy desktop, and as I've told you, this Cloudy desktop will be used as a MCP client along with the MCP host for the both the purposes and MP's and MCP client. It is client also in this case, and where in this Cloudy desktop you are going to integrate. You are going to integrate MCP servers. What are the MPC servers are there? You can integrate that one. And I have shown you how you can integrate. And this MPC server, what are the integration you are going to have? It is going to be a JSON file. And directly you are going to take this JSON file and you are going to integrate as a agent. And you are going to use this one. Now, MCP servers can be integrated in that way. And after that, we have discussed how we, in the last class, we have discussed integrate, how we can integrate multiple, how we can integrate multiple MCP servers, how we can integrate multiple MCP servers. Okay. And what are the multiple MCP servers in the cloudy desktop? We have discussed in the cloudy desktop how we can integrate the multiple servers and how we can get the multiple JSON files. Next, followed by we have discussed Cursor IDE, how to install the Cursor and Cursor IDE. And within the Cursor IDE installation, after that we have discussed the Cursor IDE installation, where Cursor IDE will be used as the MCP client. Okay, it will be used as your MCP client, and which will be connected with in this case, it is going to be used as the MCP client, and where it is going to be connected with the MCP servers. And directly how you can integrate the MCP servers, I have shown you directly in a similar manner how you are going to integrate here. Integrate the MCP servers which are having the JSON file. Directly, if you are having any JSON files with you, how you can integrate that, we have discussed. Apart from that, okay, how to build multiple MCP servers, how to build the multiple MCP servers and integrate with AI agent. What are the AI agent is there? So how to integrate that one into the AI agent and how to give to the LLM model and all these things we are discussing. And for this integration, here I told you that you have to use the UV. Okay, you are going to use within the cursor, you are going to use the UV settings, right? So how to initialize the UV? First one is, I have told you, you have to install the Cursor IDE. In this case, again, you are going to install the Cursor IDE because Cursor is integrated with the UV directly. So directly we can use the UV here. And so initialization, you can do the initialization of UV, where UV will be initialized with a very fast way, and it is the comparatively fast when compared to a normal VS Code pip. The Python course will be executed very fast. So you are going to initialize the UV. How we are going to initialize the UV means the initialization of the UV will be done by using the simply writing in the here we are going to simply write the UV INIT. UV INIT. So UV INIT means automatically UV will be initialized. Once the UV was initialized, automatically this UV log, README, project, and Python version. These files, what are these files are there? These files automatically will be added. Now, one more time, if you try to initialize, it will say that already it is available. It will again not initialize freshly. It will say that it is already available. Already initialization was completed. It is already available. It will say like this, right? So you need to initialize the UV one more time. Next. Okay, done. Next, UV initialization, once it is completed, first time you are going to initialize the UV. After initializing the UV, I have discussed with you how you have to create the virtual environment in the UV. Create virtual environment within the UV. How you can create the virtual environment, already I told you. For creating the virtual environment, we are going to write the UV VENV, simply virtual environment, and it will be created. Next, you are going to activate what are the virtual environment is it? Virtual environment you are going to activate. How you are going to activate that virtual environment is .venv. Okay, yesterday when you have written first time, it will go down automatically how to activate. That one you have to copy paste yesterday. But next time onwards, you are using activation means venv within the scripts in that activate. This is the one which you have to write. So once you execute this one, the virtual environment will be activated here. I'm going to write that one, and automatically my virtual environment was activated. This is my working directory and my virtual environment was activated here. So to activate the virtual environment, we are going to write like this. And the libraries, we are going to create a new file, create a file called as requirements.txt. What are the requirements.txt is there? You are going to create one requirements.txt. And within the requirements.txt, you are going to add all the required libraries, which has to be installed. Required libraries to be installed. Okay. And to install the libraries, in the UV. Next one is to install libraries. What are the libraries you have written? You are going to write the code. What is the code for writing this one is UV add -r requirements.txt. So by writing like this, so it is going to install all the files. And once it is installed, now you are going to create the multiple MCP servers. You can create the MCP server. You want one means one, multiple means multiple. You can create the multiple, and finally you are going to integrate them. Your integrate means nothing but combine them. Okay, like this you are going to have. Done. So these are the things which we have discussed up to requirements.txt we have completed yesterday, and how we can install all these things I have shown you. Now we are moving on to the first MCP server which I am going to create is this MCP server will be created based on the fast MCP. And what are the fast MCP we are having? And this fast MCP server where we are going to create the two tools. Tool names are one is add, the second tool name is called as multiple. So these are the two simple tools I have created where def add, one is int, it is going to take the int, and second one it is going to take the int, and the output also you are going to get the int type. Okay. And here I have given the multiplication. The input arguments are going to be the int type, and the output is going to be the int type. So you are going to give the type of arguments also. I have clearly provided the type of the argument also, data type also I have provided. And I have created the two tools. Tool number 1, tool number 2, and I have told you what is meant by fast MCP. In the last class, I have already told you what is meant by fast MCP. It is a library which is integrated for the MCP servers, which is used to create the MCP servers. Right? Now, so when you have created these MCP tools, what are the MCP tools you have created? If you want to run that one, here we are going to use if _ name _ is equal to main and mcp.run. Inside that, you are going to provide the transport. Here the transport, I am going to use the stdio. What is this stdio transport means? Here I have written very clearly. Stdio means it will simply take the simple inputs without using any kind of web scraping or module. So like if you remember the Pythonic AI, we have created the Pythonic AI weather based, and that one it is connected to the particular API that we call it as streaming. Streaming means which is connected to the particular site. So for example, if you are having that one, then in that case, you have to write here the transport is equal to HTTPS. Okay. Next. So here just you can type in the Google, what are the fast MCP is there? You can type here fast MCP and you can get the nodes related to fast MCP. Okay. So this is the fast MCP, which is used to standard framework, which is used to build the MCP applications. What are the different MCP applications are there? And this is used for that. And here you can see, this is one of the example. Okay, in this particular website, what are the example it is having? Just here it is having only one tool as an example they have shown you. I have created two examples. Only difference is that here it is showing one tool. I have created two tools. So from fast MCP, import fast MCP, and in the fast MCP, you are going to write the server name, MCP server name. And here the MCP tool, you are going to select this one. That is add MCP tool. I have selected the MCP tool along with the add multiplication also. Now, in order to run this one, instead of mcp.run, here in the MCP, we are having the different types of runs. So if you scroll down lightly, here you can find the Okay. In order to run the MCP, what are the MCP tools are there? In order to run the MCP tool, here we are going to use the transports. Different transports are there. What are the different transports means? stdio for local servers. Local servers means which you are going to create the local variables. Means you are only going to provide the variable name. HTTP is which you are going to use the remote access. Means you are trying to access from the other sources. Then the transport is equal to HTTP. So whether you have to use the whether you are going to use the STDIO, STDIO means standard input output. So standard input output means, for example, in this particular function, what of this tool was there? In this particular tool, just we are having the input as string, a normal one, means which we are going to provide from the local server only. It is getting provided from the local server itself. Okay. Next. And here MCP underscore main underscore MCP dot run. And here we are having the MCP dot run and this one where we are having the tools. Now this tool where you are going to run this one, this is used to run the block. So the main block, what are the main block is there? It is initializing the fast MCP and where you are going to initialize the run. And inside the run you are going to write. Either you are going to write here in the run you are going to write either in terms of the transport is equal to, what are the transport is there? The transport is equal to within the run. Within the run, you can choose the transport. Either the transport can be STDIO or HTTP. So in one of the server, first server what I am creating, this server I am going to create by using the STDIO, where I am going to provide the values from the local. In order to run this file, here simply you are going to type the Python mat server. What are the mat server is there? Mat server.py. So the server name I have created mat server.py. So just simply I am writing the Python mat server.py and it is going to run. And here you are not going to get any kind of output because this is a normal tools you have created. Now you have to do the integration. When you have done the integration, there only everything will be done. I mean, the final output will be done there. These are all the creations. Like MCP servers individually will not do anything. That MCP server has to be added. For example, yesterday, DuckDuckGo or Airbnb. These MCP servers JSON files are there. JSON files we can use anything? No. That JSON file, what are the file is there that we are going to copy into the cloud desktop. After copying into the cloud desktop, there only we can use that one. MCP server can be used in the cloud desktop. Directly the JSON file we cannot use. That JSON file or dictionary file we cannot use directly. Once it is integrated with this one only we can use. Right? Next, coming to the next one is called as matserver.py. And after once the matserver.py was completed, then you are going to create the one more server. You can, if you are interested, you can create one more server. Like this, you can create the first server. This is the MCP server from the scratch. I have already created one MCP server now. Okay. Now, if you want, you can add the one more. No, sir, I don't want to add one more. Then let us see that this one. Okay, if you're not interested to have one more, simply I'm going to take this one. Okay, don't get confused, guys. One side I'm copying and one side I'm pasting. Don't think in a wrong way. The answer is very simple. Before entering into the class, I have to test myself, right? Whether the code is working or not. So to check myself, I have copied somewhere. And to show you everything step-by-step procedure, I have started one way. For example, wherever I have executed earlier, there if I write uv.init, then automatically it will say that initialization is already available and it will throw the error. Now, when I show this error for you, it is already initialized, miss, again you will get a doubt. So that is the reason what I have done. I have taken an empty folder and I have started from the scratch level. For some of the students, they want everything to be executed before. For some of the students, they want to be executed everything in the class. So both the things has to be satisfied, right? So that is the reason in one of the drive, I am executing myself. In one of the drive, I am showing for you. Is the point is clear? Now, coming back to this. So here, whatever the LAN chain is there. So from LAN chain MCP adapters, I'm going to import the multi-server MCP client. And from the LAN chain dot agents, I'm going to use the create agent. And from the LAN chain underscore grok, I'm going to use the chat grok model. Now here, I'm going to load first chat. What are the chat grok is there? So I have to load the grok API key. So first I have to create that grok API key, and that grok API key has to be stored here. So for creating that one, I'm going to click on the new file, and here I'm going to write the .env. Already we know what is env. Inside that, I'm going to write the grok API key. And in the grok API key, what are my key is there? I'm just copying my key. So what are the key I have created from the grok? Already I told you how to create. Just I have created already. And that key I'm just pasting here. Okay. What are my grok API keys there? I'm just trying to paste here and click on the save. This is my env file. So within the env file, I'm going to create my grok, and this grok API key will be used here. Now here, first from .env, I'm going to import the .env and I'm going to load the env file. Env file means this entire file will be loaded. So obviously it has to be 100% .env only. We cannot give the new name. And next, I'm going to synchronize. Already I told you what is meant by synchronize, and it is going to get synchronized here. And here I'm going to create the one server. What is that server is called as MCP server, MCP client. And here I'm going to give the command as Python, and I'm going to provide the arguments as matchserver.py, and the transport I have given as stdio. This is the transport. So this is one which I have created. Forget about the second one. Second one is not there, only the first one. Okay, only one MCP server is there. And this is the MPC server where I have created the math.server. Inside this, two tools are there. Tool number one is add, tool number two is multiple. These are the two tools. Now these two tools, what I'm having, here I'm going to use the grok API key. Okay, I'm going to create the grok API key and I'm going to store the grok API key. And after storing the grok API key, here I'm going to choose the model. The model, which one is relevant to this? Just I'm going to use the model. And after the model, here I'm going to ask the create underscore agents. Create underscore agent. And inside this, I'm going to provide the model. What is my model? Shark grok model. Okay, which is based on the grok models. And tools. What is the tools? Tools are nothing but here. What are the tools I have given? What are the tools I have created? That tools will be integrated here. So tools await client.get tools. Client.get tools means, so what is client here? Client is this one. So in this, what are the server I have created? In this, what are the tools are there? Those tools will be extracted. Okay. So math.py is the server. Mathserver.py is the server. And from this, what are the two tools are there? I have stored this one in the client. So from the client, I'm going to get the get tools. What is meant by get tools? Get tools means it will extract the tools from that particular one. So that tools, whatever it has extracted, I'm going to store in the tools. Now, how many I have created? Only one. Only one MPC server I have created, and from that MCP server, I have extracted only two tools. Is that clear up to now, everyone? Forget about the second MCP server. I have not created the second one. I have created only one. Now, here math response, and here I'm going to agent.invoke. Agent.invoke, and here I'm going to give the role is equal to user, and the content is what is 3 plus 5 into 12. What is 3 plus 5 into 12? Just I'm asking to give the response for what is 3 plus 5 into 12. Forget about this one. This is not there. This is not there. Only I'm going to give the 3 plus 5 into 12. And here I'm going to ask the Python. I'm executing this one. Python client.py. What are the client.py is there? Just I'm going to execute the client.py. Before executing, just I'm going to save. Now clearly observe this code. First, what I have written? First, I have loaded my Grok API key. What are the Grok API keys there? First, I am going to load. Let me write this one also here only. From where I have loaded that Grok API key? From .env. First, I am going to have that .env. From that, I have created. For example, if you want to write directly your key name here itself, you are going to write the key name. For that, this is not required. This is not required. Directly, you can write the key name directly. Okay, for that, this is not required. Next, here I'm going to write this client. Inside the client, I'm going to give my servers. And from the servers, what are the tools I have created? I'm going to use the tools. And finally, I'm going to invoke them. And I'm going to give the question called as 3 plus 5 into 12. And here Python client.py. So this is my client.py. And just I'm going to execute. Click on the enter button. Now what happens? First, it will extract the fast mat server.py, and within the mat server.py, what are the two are there? It is going to take that two, and finally it is going to give the output for me. Now, so in this output, it is going to throw the error. Let us cross check what is the error. Uh, create agent. Okay, create agent is correct only. And in the create agent, we have given the one is model and one is tools. That is also correct. And we have invoked this one. Okay. MC one more time. Python client dot py. UV was initialized. What is the mistake? Asynchro run main. Main is def. This one only. This one I have asked it to run. Correct only. Run main. Main means this function where this function will use the agent, and the agent will take this value and it is going to give the output. And here I have created only one MCP. Okay, let me delete this second one also. Maybe due to this, let me remove this one also, so that now I am having only one. Okay, one MCP only is available. Okay, done. Now let me re-execute. Maybe due to that second MCP server, it is throwing the error. Now just I'm re-executing this one. Again, what is the problem? Mhm. 1 minute, guys. In this, let me write dot .venv and scripts and activate. Okay. And here I'm writing the Python client.py. Now it is still throwing the error. Let me cross check once. First, I'm going to load this one. Yeah, the server is running, sir. It says connection is closed. Uh, yeah, MCP server connection is closed. Just first one is grok key and here MCP client and inside that math. So here I have given, well, let me cross check once. Here math only I have given. So yes, the same math. And the next one is command Python and math server. The spelling is mathserver.py, correct? Transport is stdio, correct? And first I have created the MCP client. And what are the client I have created? From the client, I'm going to import the tools. So get tools is going to get the add and multiplication. And here the model, grok model I have given. And the tools, what are the tools it has extracted? That is add and multiplication. And agent.invoke user and math.response. And I'm asking finally to run. Now, I assume this entire code is correct only. But still why it is giving the wrong? Let me cross check. Okay, let me restart one more time. Might be, let me restart, guys. So while restarting also, first I'll restart this one forcefully. First I close forcefully, otherwise the previous one will be continued till like that only. Sorry. అర్థం కాలేదు. అవును. అవును. ఏపీఐ కీని బ్రాకెట్ లో పెట్టానా? ఇన్వర్టెడ్ కోర్స్ లో కదా? ఇన్వర్టెడ్ కోర్స్ లోనే ఉంటుంది. ఇన్వర్టెడ్ కోర్స్ లోనే ఉంటుంది. అందులో ఇన్వర్టెడ్ కోర్సే ఉంటుంది. ప్రతి కీ ఇన్వర్టెడ్ కోర్స్ లోనే ఉంటుంది. Not only grok API key. Any API key should be in the inverted course. Every API key is in the string only, inverted course. So here just I'll activate my environment. That is virtual environment. Just I'm trying to activate, and from there, okay. Now I'm writing here my Python and client.py. Again, it is showing the same error. Okay, guys, just to give me a minute, let me cross check. Let me cross check this one. Just give me a minute, guys. First, if it is getting executed in my laptop perfectly, then I'll start explaining. Just give me 1 minute. Here, this is also getting failed. Earlier, whatever got executed in my laptop earlier, that I have created this. Now those are getting failed again. Earlier, this got executed successfully, and I have got the result also. But suddenly, it is showing now error. Guys, some of you have installed this cursor ID. Anyone has installed the cursor ID yesterday? Yes or no? Uh, Cursor ID, how many people has installed yesterday? And whoever has installed, just I'm going to share these notes to you. Could you cross check once from your end? I'm trying to upload the notes. Could you please execute once? Everyone, I'll be on. Again, just now, few minutes back, it has executed successfully in my case. Now it is showing the error. Everyone, could you please cross check once? I'm just sharing you the files. So just I have shared you the files, MCP server files. Everyone, could you open once and could you execute once, please, from your end? Python, and I'm going to run this weather.py file. Yeah, it was run executed successfully. And once it was executed, now I'm going to create one more in the similar manner. And now I'm going to execute this client. What other client is a client.py. Yeah, finally it got executed now, guys. Okay, done. Now it was executed successfully without error. So just before to this, I have executed the previous one. What are the files are there? Okay, done. It was executed successfully. Now, what is the mistake it was done, miss? So I'll show you what is the mistake. And here, before moving on to the further, just here I'm going to explain for you. The first one is math.mathserver.py. Already I have explained for you. And inside this math.server.py, I have taken the transport stdio. Stdio means which is going to take from the local values, right? And the second one is weather.py. So weather.py is the here from MCP server.fast MCP. I'm going to import the MCP and the name I'm going to give the weather. And here the MCP tool. What are the MCP tool I'm going to create is get weather. And here what are the location? Some name I'm going to give name of that. And here the transport. If you observe the transport, the transport is streamable HTTP because it is going to extract from the data from the web source. Whereas this is going to extract the data from the local values. So this is the standard IO and this is the streamable HTTP. Now if I go into the client, now in the client I'm going to integrate these both of them. So .env is same. Okay, first you are going to load the env file and here you are going to take the first one is Python. So here earlier I have executed this one. What is this one is weather.py. Whenever I have executed the Python weather.py, that is here what is the transport you are having? Streamable HTTP. So streamable HTTP means it is going to connect to the web source and it is going to try to give the output. Now what are this output it is going to try? So here I'm going to get the output in this address. This is the localhost address where I'm going to get. So that address here I'm going to provide as the input. So HTTP localhost with the 8000. What are the 8000 it is going to give? The MCP and the transport is streamable HTTP. So this is the first one. The first one is math and the second one is weather. So these are the two MCPs and in this you are having the two tools. Take the two tools and inside this you are having the one tool. What is that one tool is? You get the weather information. And here I'm going to get the tools. And after getting the tools, here I'm going to give the model name is called as chart grok. And this is the model name. And the agent, create agent, and I'm going to give the model name along with the tools. Okay, tools are given. And after giving the tool names, here I'm going to write your role is equal to user. And I'm asking what is 3 into 5 into 12. And what are the response it has given? Already I have shown you earlier. Math.response means the output, whatever you get, it will be in the dictionary. Inside the dictionary, again list inside the content. Here the actual final answer will be there. So 3 into 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, 8 into 12 is 96. So you are going to get the 96 as the output. And along with that, second one. In the second one, I'm asking what is the weather in the California. So what is the weather in the California means? It is trying to connect to the web source. And from there, it is going to give the value. So these are the two questions I have asked. And for the two questions, it is going to give the output like this. So one more time, I'm executing here. To execute this one, just I'm going to write Python. And inside the Python client.py. So once I write Python client.py, so this client.py file will be executed. So here in the client.py, it is going to use the agent and the two agents will be created and the two agents are going to extract the information. The first agent, it is trying to extract the information that is 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. 12 times the 8 is 96. Your required output is 96. And what are the response? Weather response is there. This is math response. Math response is 96. You are going to get the 96. And you are going to get the weather response. Weather response is nothing but you are asking the what is the weather in the California. So California's weather varies a lot depending on the where you are and based on the coastal area. And it is trying to connect to the LLM model and it is giving the information according to it. Is the point is clear? So exactly in the California where you are located based on that. California is an entire state, I mean province. So within that province, where you exactly are located, based on that, it is going to give the output. Is that clear, guys? Everyone? So these are the two different MCP servers. The first one is called as math server and the second one is weather. And these two MPC servers, what I have created, I have integrated with the AI agents and two agents are created, and each agent is getting interacted. And these agents are going to give the output to the chart graph model, and the chart graph model is going to give the final output. Is that clear now, everyone? Everyone, could you please confirm? Is that clear? Yes or no? Anyone has any questions in the code, miss? Please ask. And the code is also uploaded, and I have shown you the step-by-step process also. No, you cannot use the Google Colab, Leela. For this one, you cannot use the Google Colab because UV integration, and we are going to use the with respect to UV. That is the reason we are going to use the cursor ID separately. Right? Done. Still, on Dharmendra, can we code without asynchronous function? Asynchronous function is integrating. So individually, when you are writing here separately for this one, and when you are writing for this one, here without writing this MCP tool asynchronous function, not a problem. But here you have to integrate now, synchronize that one. It should not consider as a separate. So synchronized function is important. Is the point is clear? Dharmendra. Others also, could you please confirm? Now, everyone, could you create now your work is what? Earlier, we have executed in the Python KI and through AI, we have created some agents now. So what are the agents we have created that Python KI, or by using the crew AI, that is research analyst.py, research.py, I mean end user, whoever the user, that project is there, right? That one you have to create in the MCP. That is your task for you. The same work, whatever we have done earlier, that one, like weather API, by using the weather API and whatever you have created, that you have created by using the Python KI or by using the AutoGen, Microsoft AutoGen. Now that same thing you have to create the MCP. You have to create the MCP server and you have to create the agents in the MCP server. Is the point is clear? That is your task. Okay, everyone, please complete the task. And from now, we are going to discuss the next topic related to land graph. The last topic in the agentic AI, that is land graph. Okay, which we are going to discuss in the tomorrow's class. Just I have uploaded the notes. You can create the requirements.txt. Already you know how to create the requirements.txt. You know how to create .env file, and you know how to install the libraries. And at the same time, UV initialization you are going to do. And after doing the UV initialization, complete whatever we have discussed in the class. Next, we'll continue from here in the tomorrow's class. MCP was completed, and tomorrow we'll try to do the land graph. That is going to be the last topic in the agentic AI. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we'll complete the land graph. Yeah, MCP is a different and Crew AI is different. Crew AI is one type of integration. MCP is one type of integration. You cannot combine both of them. That is one type of framework. This is one type of framework. But inside the tools and creation, the same thing we can use. I'm not asking the entire Crew AI to bring into the MCP. Inside the Crew AI, what are the agents you have created now? Agents and tasks you have created, right? That agents you write here. That agents you bring into the MCP. Abhishek, point is clear. Abhishek, understood or not? Done, guys. If no questions, you can leave. In CrewA, we can write MCP instead of a tool. Yes, the agents you are going to bring here. In the CrewA, you have created the tools now. That tools you are going to write here as the MCP tools. That's it. And you are going to integrate. Abhishek, could you remember the CrewA? For CrewA, what are the different folders we have created? Task, tools, agents. Do you remember? And finally, all these things you have integrated in the crew.py1, main.py1. Do you remember that one? Crew.py. In the crew.py only, you have integrated the multiple things, right? Similarly, here also, you are going to create the separate MCP tools and you are going to integrate in the client.py. Example, client.py. Here also you can write the same way. Instead of client.py, you write whatever you are interested, name. Understood or not? Yes or no? Have you understood? Within the CrewA, in the CrewA, the agents, what are the agents you have created? Agents folder is there. Two agents are there. The two agents, the tools you are going to bring into the MCP. In the CrewA framework, we have to write the task. In what task it has to do. Here you need to write the task. That is one type of framework. This is one type of framework. So here just you are going to bring the tools and what are the functions are there and you are going to integrate them. That's it. Now it is clear? Yes or no? Abhishek, if it is not clear, I will explain one more time. My question is, can I install UV in the VS Code? UV installation in the VS Code, again, that would be a different process and modify the existing code by, that is different process again. That is not advisable. Use the cursor ID for faster integrations and faster work. Simply copy the code only now. Yes, cursor is faster. You have seen during the installation of libraries, how much time it has taken? Done. Yes. Yeah. Please complete today. Today, please complete the MCP server. Don't practice the MCP server tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll discuss the land graph. So tomorrow you have to practice the land graph. So please complete the practice of MCP servers by today. Yes. Done, guys.